Hey again. Sorry, apparently my service provider is doing what do they call it? Oh, you're being shit. Could have sworn there was a control that let you copy. Your character location or something like that. Lol. Assign me and press me is a fun one. Copy position to clipboard. There we go. P. There we go. Hello, wait. Wait. At the moment, they're murdering AI. They're murdering zombos. Okay, I'm slightly worried that these AI might be a bit cooked. Oh shit. Okay. They can jump and climb, apparently. They do not appear to have any opposition, however. They're kind of solo. Why is this? I should probably reset this config file to what it was like last save. Which was like this. So we're at the dam. One side has spawned, the other side hasn't. Let's have a look. In here at our loadouts. So we have... all loadouts exist. I guess if those guys are anything, it's got to be Cold Military Basic or Cold Military Elite. Which, does that tie in with the side they spawned on? No, these numbers don't match up at all. I seem to remember this in game one being wrong. Five, 6, 9, 1, 10,000 and something. Okay, they both agree. Meanwhile, the map is basically bang on as well. Okay. So positions are correct from that perspective, except for in here, where again these numbers don't make any sense. I am slightly surprised, given how this is set up, that we saw any AI at all. Yeah, not at the right position. Where should we have them fight over? I like the idea of making this dam a bit of a nightmare to get across. I mean, this looks like it makes sense, right? Alley pad, storage building, etc. Yep.
Another boy joins the crew.
They're up to something. Holy shit. This is a different pair from earlier with different gear on. Yeah, Minerva. But I'm kind of okay with that. If these guys are going to wander around making their presence known this well, and they're also going to roam quite far. Although part of me wonders if this isn't the war zones, is it? We're running into the DayZ expansion AI. These aren't Warzone AI. These are random... No, but they'll be configurable. These are mobile loot targets, yeah. These aren't anything to do with the Warzone. We've been confused. We've run into two groups of just mobile NPC players. Which is cool. It's not what we were looking to get working. What we were looking to get working still doesn't. It only worked once. But evidently there's some room here for things to continue. And to be honest, I hadn't even thought about the fact that by adding on an AI dependency for this mod, we were actually adding just AI into the game full stop. Because you know what I'm like, I've barely started. We're going to config the zombies, we're going to crouch, we're going to mass them up, but we're going to remove them from the areas where you have NPCs fighting. I can, but why would I do that when I can just nerf and config the expansion AI to be much more like low-tier hunters? Not like fucking A-game armor AI, instant headshot from across the map with a thermal scope sniper rifle. Grey Minerva, I'm going to be honest with you, I am making a server that is supposed to be punishing, and it will be extra punishing to someone who is new to DayZ. However, it is a cooperative server. So part of the point is that you kind of, you know, previously, yeah, this is not going to be a PvP endeavor. This is me customizing it to make it specifically PvE focused. So yeah, think of it like, yeah, exactly. And so you'll have the other players on the server are just trying to survive with you. Last time we ran a server a bit like this, it didn't have the AI, but it did have hardcore zombies and a lot of winter survival geared stuff. We ended up with like multiple player checkpoints. Exactly, they are the danger that replaces PvP. Or part of it. The zombies are no fuck around either. I've been invisible this entire time, so they can't see me, and I've not even touched the number of them yet. But once I'm done, the zombies will be no fuck around either. To the extent that I'm actually tempted to put Deer Isle on just to steal its zombies. Because Deer Isle has some, like, we've got some zombie mods, and then Deer Isle has its own custom config zombies that are really nasty. Not gonna lie, this is making me want to go back to just doing Deer Isle Winter again, but with a lot more custom work done from the start. Like, a lot more lean towards PvE. Because I'm going to have to configure a whole bunch of stuff explicitly for Namalsk. But my concern is that Namalsk is small. It's not actually that big. It doesn't have that many POIs. Whereas Deer Isle, if I do it right... Well, it's not... The groups of zombies I can fix. I can fix that shit. It's more that as far as places to go and explore from a PvE perspective, there just isn't that much on Namalsk. Whereas your Deer Isle, I mean, look at the state of it in comparison. There is so much going on. There's so much room for me to add a bunch of variety. And while we know the map, I think I've convinced myself. And it shouldn't take. As I said, I barely started with the setup. What we're missing, what we'll lose is part of the reason I'm doing the mouse is because of the train mod. But I don't even know if the train mod works, and I don't mind losing the train mod in exchange for a map that'll actually be worth playing for a long period. Updated on the 7th of April. Nice. This is what I like to see. And one advantage of going back to Deer Isle is I do have some past work I can reuse. There is some stuff from the original version. Train mod's cool. The problem is, in reality, the train mod is designed for churners. Namalsk has a train line, and there is a version of the train line mod that works on Namalsk. But Namalsk is so small that it's kind of pointless. Deer Isle does have tracks. When I last looked, it did not have a Deer Isle version. No. All right. Fuck this off. It's time to back to slightly earlier in the stage. can't call it that, can I? That's an existing setup. No. It can't be saved because the server's still running. Don't worry about it. Okay, now to get messy. Might even be able to go back to an old version again for this. And just grab that bunch out because those are the ones we're looking for. And you thought the tabs were bad. Ah, you might get lucky. Alright, now for more mess. We've done that side of things, but now I need to actually put the maps in. So let's make sure that these are fully updated. So that's Deer Isle. No, mouse survival is actually required for the Deer Isle stuff I'm using, because this is a setup that involves stealing the mouse's weather and survival mechanics and then just applying it to a different map. So while we ditch the mouse island, because we don't need the map itself anymore, we keep its survival mechanics. Okay, what else do I need to add? It's like, so Winter Returnerus, Winter Livonia, Winter Deer Isle. Okay. These are probably all going to need updating, so it's that bunch. Which I should go and do properly via the DayZ mod launcher, so you go away. Yay, convoluted. Okay, so Deer Isle. Unsubscribe. It's caught up. Subscribe. It's not going to download this one while we're playing, apparently. Oh no, apparently it is. That was 10 gigs, by the way. Winter Returnerus V2, Winter Livonia. We've got to be checking the update dates on these as well as we're doing it. Oh, this is Lad. I can always poke him if it's not up to date. Up to date on 25th February. Get gone. Get back. Seventh of April. Nice. The original map is Deer Isle. It just uses assets from all the other ones. Sounds better. Okay, that's the server updated, the bat updated. Technically, oh no, I need to update the config file to. We need to get the mission file for Cherner. It's 2025 Deer Isle is what I'm going to call it, apparently. I'm not sure I want to take the old mission file, but I did just download it on my main rig, didn't I? Was it on the main rig? No, it was on the server. No, we just downloaded part of it. Damn it. Oh, why? You like this? No, please. What I was always after was an empty version, an unconfigured version of your fucking shit. Right, yeah. And I seem to remember this being a thing before. I'm tempted to do something slightly dangerous. No, keeping my original configuration. Well, the guy doesn't seem to provide a... They just aren't. Lie. Alright, how did I do this previously? Did I do this in a way that can... Yeah, they're folder based. Which means I can, to some extent, define, yeah, like this. How much of his stuff we use and how much of my modified stuff we use. Because I believe most of my things ended up getting... I ended up being a sensible person and moving them all into their own folders. So that when he updated his shit, it didn't matter. So I should be able to compare this, basically copy everything below that line over into the new file and get a sum of what I did. I'm also going to need to do the same with spawnable types. Because I believe this has the same thing where I've referenced those files somewhere. Either way, first I need a blank version of this folder. And once again, GitHub is proving to be a pain in the ass because you just can't do it. You can't be like, no, I just want this. Releases? None. Because, no, of course there isn't. Cool. I think unspecified error was wasted. You can't clear your clipboard before a file on your clipboard has finished transferring. I think that was what the unspecified error was. That's why. That's like that. Understood. Probably an idea to go and actually delete the user data so that it doesn't freak the hell out at the fact that the map's suddenly not the same as it was. Maybe. Just maybe. Given that that's what it was doing. See, all good servers have a massive spam of scripted variable corrupted because they're referencing mods that I don't have installed. Looks like we already fixed this. Alright, there's already definitely at least one mod missing, and yeah. Something's not right here. Okay, so there's a mod that's gone AWOL. Okay, so there's a new mod. That one's been replaced. Stuff has changed. Recent DLC for DayZ seems to have caused some issues. Alright, let's see. In theory, that should have fixed this end of things at least. Wait. Why are we accepting the battle eye, Eula? It's just decided to lose all my custom parameters, apparently. Oh, fuck you, Battle Eye. Oh, no, it's because I'm launching it on the server. Oh. Don't actually want to play DayZ on the integrated GPU on the server, thanks. I'd prefer if you didn't even try and run the game, if I'm honest with you. It's not going to go well. The racetrack. Yep, that is the entrance to the racetrack. You got the garage buildings opposite. The right-hand side leads round to where the grandstands are. Entrance at the racetrack's in a slightly weird place in that it's up actually near the garages, and then all of the like commercial stuff is down to the right. I know why it's behaving like this. Oh. Didn't even think about it, but yes. I didn't actually delete the user data, so it's loading the previous map save. I reconfigured the mission files, but then never pointed it at them, so it's loading the original ones. Well, that's a mod which is not on the server. I don't think that's true. Yeah, it's not true. They're right here. Is with this weird music. It's not open. I just closed the server. Fuck you. Oh, we are swiftly heading in the I can't be asked anymore territory. And none of it's because mods don't work. All of it's because the fucking setup is so obtuse. Please just die. What on earth are you doing now? You guys do remember me going and re-downloading all the server mods, right? $2025, $2025, $2025, yeah. Has the add-on key changed? Oh wait, this is named wrong. And with that, so is this. Right, there it is. Found it. There a horse mod for DayZ? No, there is not. That would be weird. Who wants a horse mod? Hmm? The DayZ, of all things. You're going... not very Wild West. Like, I'd argue that a horse would be singularly poor in that sort of scenario. Because unless it is very, very well trained, the most likely scenario is the second you get jumped by zombies, it throws you, maybe kills you, and bolts. It gone. I maintain the first person to decide that a horse was a good thing to take into a battle must have been a fucking lunatic. Everyone else is looking at him going, sorry, what? You want to ride one of those into a fight? You do realize what we're talking about. It's a horse, right? You do know that. Naturally skittish, stupid, You've cached this somewhere, Steam. There's no way you just downloaded that. Hey, assholes. Fuck you. Deleted your files. Now you gotta download it again. Well, I'm not giving it any choice. There are no files for this mod, so you're going to update it. I say that, I mean... In fact, what I've managed to do is apparently hang my PC. Windows is fucking up. Oh, now the folder's empty. Well, no. And now we're like, alright, how about this? How about you repair that? Because I think you'll find that it hasn't got any files. Hey, look, you're having to download something. Crazy. Yeah, the fool, but it's fine because I put angry music on. I'm not gonna lie, it's making me feel better. In comparison to what we were listening to before, I'm feeling much more upbeat. That was just music change. I hope one day to be able to get a blooming sound that fucking clean. It's so tight. Talking from a recording perspective here. Right. Sometimes you need some energy, and it's not. I think the surprising thing is that music does anything at all. Once you accept that, it makes a lot of sense that it has an effect on your mood, or can. The truly weird thing is just, why is the noise of that noise, right? Why is an electric guitar noise a good noise? What is the feature there that stands out that means that that's a noise that's nice and others aren't? I don't know. Some of it's going to be sounding like a voice, definitely. You know, that was something I learned in music theory is a part of it was focusing on performance techniques, and how some performance techniques is very much about mimicking the sound of a voice, even if you don't realize necessarily that's what you're doing. You know, that's what a guitar slide is. A slide on the guitar is just doing something that a voice can do that a guitar couldn't otherwise. Well, trying, Minnie. Currently, we're stretching Starlink. Oh, I know, but that's why I find it interesting. I promised you I was going to get back to calling you. I told you this was discussed. As I would expect. Although it has been a while since we've done anything, I'm starting to forget what you sound like. Let alone look like. That bit I never knew. As much as it might sound otherwise at times, I do quite enjoy playing with my Aussie friends. They have a similarly straightforward amount of salt to provide to the deal. I approve of that. Factual salt. Factual, or is it just matter of fact? Kind of a mix of both at times, I guess. I deleted this. Well, that sodium's there. Now for the sad reality. And how long does that take the server to download? at a speed of 1.4 Gbps, where I suspect our actual limiting factor will be processor time. Yeah, the CPU is running at 100%. That's what's preventing us from downloading any faster. We are maxing the CPU just downloading a mod. Wee! Internet go brr. I'm going to entertain myself, even if the game's not going to. You said you'd subscribe to it, so where is it? Why is it not in the fucking folder? Oh, for fuck's sake. Steam! Yeah, kick the other dude off. Fuck that guy. Yeah. Fuck him. He's an ass. You're gonna make me re-sign in for that? For kicking myself off? Fuck you. Metal that Murphy can do to help. Or hinder. This does remain a fantastic track. Shame the artist made one good track and then never anything else. But I guess that tracks with real life experience. No, what? What? But why would you do that? Please. Please explain to me why you would do that. Can I just play the game locally, please? On the PC with the 4080 instead of the one with the integrated GPU. No, we should probably play it on the fake 9900K that claims to be a Xeon. That would be way better. Look, Xeon, it says it right there. Ignore the fact that everything about it is identical to a 9900K, even the socket it fits into, other than the fact that it supports ECC memory. It's definitely a Xeon. You know, ignore this integrated graphics that no Xeons have. That just happens to still be here for some reason. And has actually been very useful because it means that this rig technically fulfills the requirements to run Adobe Premiere, which means Adobe Premiere actually launches, which means I can use this as a render machine. I have edited directly through it a few times. Speaking of which, I published a video today. It was on the second channel, but it is a start. The hell, didn't I rename this to be like that? And then it's kind of... Could have sworn I renamed that to not have the gap in it. And then edited this to match, yeah. Except it didn't. How will you recover? How do you deal with that? There's no possible solution. That's it. It's done. No options. Please. Client has a PBO that's not part of the server. Okay, so if I go onto here, I won't see abandoned building.pbo. It's funny because when I go and look, I can't help but notice that I have that exact PBO in the folder on the server. Right. It's right there. Here it is. Not only that, but I've updated both sides multiple times. So why the fuck are you complaining about this BBO existing when it's supposed to be there? Okay. Yeah, but the it's on C on the server, but more importantly, the point is here that it says it has a file that doesn't exist on the server, and we can find it on the server. It's right there on the server. And yeah, it's only referencing that place, because so here's our actual Deer Isle. It is a symlink. 51605. 51605. 7/16/2025. 17th of the 7th, 2025. Yeah, that. It's the same fucking file. The load order can't be any better than it is. Oh, you shithead. It's alright, I found it. I think. Oh, maybe not, but both of those keys did exist. Oh, I connected to it earlier. Unfortunately, I would crank this up as somewhat typical DayZ bullshit. Yeah, but it's not like I can't connect because it can't connect. I can't connect and it's giving me a very explicit reason. supposedly Deer Isle itself. It's claiming that one side has a PBO that the other doesn't, but they both have that same PBO. So figure from what you want from that. They literally both have exactly the same file. Ah. No, the base is not supposed to be there. Yeah, it's a bunch of mods that are missing from that save. I deleted that folder and reinstalled it, so that's not where the fuck the... Man. This is somewhat cancerous. I've deleted this users folder, so there's just save data somewhere. It's not in here. So fuck knows where it is. Just decided it exists, but... that absolutely does not make any sense for a server. I'm sorry, it's not going to be an update to roaming. It's not how this stuff works. So this is the profiles for actual DayZ, but not the profiles for the DayZ server. DayZ server is somewhere within its own folders. And I am starting to seriously regret not just wiping fucking everything before I even began this process. And that's loading empty.dir, and empty.dir has been completely replaced this evening. So how does it have any remnants of what was on this server previously still remaining? This has all been wiped. It's supposedly in this folder, so you know what? Fucking delete it. I kind of expected my character to still end up with its gear, because that makes some sense. The save file for that is located on my PC. But the rest of it, utterly moronic. Oh yes, and where are they server side? Because I've deleted the users folder that is supposed to hold these things multiple times this evening, and let it regenerate it, and yet I'm willing to believe you if you can point me at the file. But I suspect it'll be the file I've deleted maybe 10 times this evening. Oh, indeed. Well, you just watch me delete a folder dated today and replace it with another folder dated today. From an archive on my rig that I downloaded this evening. The most recently downloaded file was from that, direct from their GitHub. I don't think their GitHub has our server saved, so yeah. It might say they're supposed to be there, but I'm not sure they are. The Armor server client isn't logged into my Steam account. It's never been given that piece of information, so no, not really possible. There is no storage folder at all in that folder. There's empty. Oh, I mean, there is now. Started one up, but you just watch me put that map file. That entire folder is brand new. It's a real place, Rebel. Oh, you don't have any of the custom spawning gear. Brutal. Yeah, although it's completely abandoned. apparently. As meant as far as loot. I mean, I guess it's a minor improvement. Yep, that's what I was after. A flashbang. Now we're ready to breach and clear some zombies with our fists. They don't look great. Oh my god, rage quit. Uninstall, we're out. We're done. Rage quit, uninstall, done. Keyboard out the window, smash the PC, smash the mod. No, you can't throw the keyboard out the window. You got to smash the screen with the keyboard, and then throw the PC out the window. And then you buy a copy of Madden and an Xbox and never play anything else. That's your life now. Okay, so I know that the map we were running was kicking up accurate values, so given it does also have Deer Isle, let's go try an obvious one. Southern Sea? Why? Why Southern Sea? Why not? Why not configured like everything else? Oh, you have a settings, right? Okay. And those settings are basically unconfigurable. Good to know. Alright, weirdly, and for some non-apparent reason, DayZ runs a lot better than Armor when it comes to AI, so I definitely intend to find exactly what the limit is for just having both zombies and human human AI all over the fucking place. This time round, you're going to be dealing with zombies and ranged opponents. And the zombies are going to be worse. I'm gonna put the server to work basically because it's going to have to calculate a lot to keep up and make it make sense. Roaming hordes, etc., which will then interact with the NPC AI, which then creates dynamic events that you can get involved with, but at the same time also problems. Set scale, enormous. That's a good sign. What am I doing this for? That was unconfigured Anidia zombie jumps. The NBC guys have taken over. So one of the fun things about this mod is there's not always going to be a big battle going on. They'll hold the areas against the zombies, but you can allow one team to actually take the area over, and the AI will come and take it back occasionally. As far as like the AI factions that are being represented now, hopefully some are about. We've also got random wanderers. It's going to be hard to tell without playing on the server properly. Oh, I think this might be some player v player. Or AI v AI. Yeah, it is. These guys look evil. I'm not sure if you're watching this, Nutters, but outside of the intensive tactical lean, they look like a bit of a bastard. They move a lot. I might see if I can config that behavior, because they do like to tactical lean a little too much. It has gone mostly silent. Get him! Get him! Yeah, that's what I worried about. Okay, there's some issues with this mod. We need to sort out how this works, because that guy is just spawning out of nowhere at that spot. Oh, understand, Herox, I'm just using random loadouts to make sure it works. Also understand that, just judging by how these AIs shoot, don't think you're getting their loot easy. Well, no, again, Herox, you are misunderstanding that I have used some random loadouts. So, who says they are ever going to have this much gear to begin with? I am merely testing how the thing works. So I use some easily accessible gear loadouts before worrying about customizing my own. Zombies joining the fray. Yeah, indeed. That's testing for you. You start off with like something using default basic stuff, and you're not worried about configuring anything more than that. That doesn't mean you plan to use it in that format. I now know I can place those things down. So hey, look. Configurable loadouts and the chance of dropping. That's important, I think. Can be looted. Also an option. And in the long run, I want to give them... They need more than one spawn point. This is nice. This means I've got not just customizable loadouts, but I can probably drop in some of the loadouts I made earlier with a few simple adjustments. I should find some food and make sure that food this morning frozen, because that is an important part as well. Who said you're getting cars? What if I don't give you cars? Well, I'm like, no. Don't think they deserve cars. Oh, don't worry, Minnie. There's radiation and random hot zones for explosions and stuff in this. Plenty nuke. Oh. Might be time for me to go invisible and goblin. We'll call him Jeff. Go on, Jeff. You got this. You got the... Oh. Oh, and to the brain. Jeff ain't fucking around. You're gonna kill yourself, lady. That was radioactive. Alright, well, good luck to you. Oh, that's terrifying. They've run out of ammo. And that's how they're gonna run when they're out of ammo? Oh, good fucking luck. Oh, good hit! Sorry, Jeff. He did. I thought he was trying to get on the roof there for the second. That would have been sneaky as all hell. What I'm checking to see is that it's supposed to have a domination mechanic to allow one faction to actually take control. So they fight occasionally, but it should stop the infinite spawning shenanigans. I want to see if that's working, because more guys have popped up down here. In his defense, I think he had a scorpion. Yeah, I think it's still spawning pretty much incessantly. It's doing so in a way that the battle's much more spread out, which I kind of like. But they're still spawning pretty much non-stop. I might have to learn how to do DayZ expansion AI coding myself, as opposed to rely on this mod. This mod seems to be good. I mean, good luck getting in there and taking any of the loot. It is part of my concern, actually. I'm not sure you could farm the ammo that easily, not with how they are now, because I've spread out how far out they're willing to roam and spawn. Well, sorry, they all seem to spawn in the same sort of area, but they're willing to, only because I've only got one spawn point set, and they're much more willing to roam about. You know, you've got this random dude over here. Not sure what he's doing. He's having a good time. I think he sort of spots this zombie. Food? Maybe in here? Food or doctor? Maybe doctor. I'm specifically looking, Mini, for some food so that I can confirm that, well, they definitely die. So I can confirm that, stuff is frozen, as it should be. You have 2 weapons, sir. Why did you have 2 weapons, sir? Yeah, this is not going to provide me with any food, is it? Oh, wrong one. Well, yeah, chips don't freeze, so that doesn't help. But they are chilly. The pepper is only chilly. Not actually frozen. It might not actually be that cold. Part of me is thinking, though, like, is chili something that even exists without the mouse stuff? Because what I'm thinking is actually what's going on here is while it's a winter map and it's snowing, that's because I forced the weather. The actual weather isn't cold. Yeah, I just don't think it's that cold. Because remember how I replaced the Deer Isle folder in order to get it working? Well, that Deer Isle folder is where you have things like the weather settings. Which, Deer Isle is not a winter map by default. Yeah, the way the mods have changed is instead of trying to force too much of it, they've started to pull back because the game does it itself now. But what's happening at the moment is that I've forced the weather to be snow through various means. I forced the weather to look like it's winter, but I have modified the temperature. So it looks like these things. It's snowing because the snow actually isn't temperature related. It's a weather event. It will be now. That's where that file is one of the places where you set this stuff. And in this case, I need an override in there to set the month. Need to set the month and also our longitude and latitude. Well, being indoors is a bit strong, but outside was pretty chilly. Well, we got frosty breath now, so it's a good sign. Yeah, I think it's warm enough in here to kill you slowly. At the moment.
Another boy joins the crew.
Thank you, Om Nom. Trying to see if the Namauska vent spawner has been running. Are we getting the full weather, or are we just getting cold weather? That's Skulkin's opinion. Lots of bats, is what he thinks. I have not modified the loot tables at all. This is default loot tables. Cold, but not frozen. Yeah, I think some of the Namausk stuff is not working. To answer your question, Omnum. Had a bit of a look at me and I was like, and you done me. No. Fuck you, Steam. Without fail. Right, I can officially say I've had enough of that for today. Went for longer than I intended and expected with that, but yes, I am done. What I will do. Yeah. It is a thing. Bit of hyperfocus, that's all fine, right? However, for similar reasons to the other night, in order to start RimWorld, I will also be restarting the stream. Downloading 3.5 hours of random extra footage and then having to cut it off is a pain in the ass, to be honest, and I want to actually use this for YouTube, so. I'm gonna do it. I'll do it right now. Except I want to write tiles first. Oh, what happened and who woke up the salty one? But Galadas is back in true salt today. It's good to see you back to being salty again, Galadas. Hope you're doing well.